In 1972, a gallon of milk cost the average American worker 20 minutes on the job. Today, it costs 8. Now, the same two prices in dollars. About $1.20 then. About $4.20 now. 3.5 times the money for less than half the work. Both of those numbers are true. The distance between them is this entire story. Because when you reprice a 1970s budget, the way a household actually pays for things, in hours of work, most of the grocery cart has barely moved in 50 years, and some of it has gotten cheaper. The budget did break. It just did not break at the register. By the end of this page, you will know, line by line, exactly where it broke and by how much. The page is real. In the autumn of 1972, the Bureau of Labor Statistics published what it called an urban family budget, an itemized account of what a modest standard of living actually cost a family of 4: food, housing, a car, clothing, a doctor, priced city by city. The middle version came to about $11,400 a year, at a time when the median American household earned about $9,700. Alongside it, the Bureau's average price tables recorded what groceries cost to the cent, month after month. And in the kitchen drawers of careful households sat their own instrument, the price book. A small notebook where a careful shopper wrote down the price of every staple at every store, because when prices move every month, memory is not good enough. This video reads those 1972 records against the same tables the Bureau still publishes now. Today's prices are national averages from the most recent full tables as of late 2025. So set the page. In dollars of the day, a dozen large eggs, about 52 cents. A 1-pound loaf of white bread, about 25. A whole chicken, about 41 cents a pound. Ground beef, about 67 cents a pound. Coffee, about 93 cents a pound. Milk, about $1.20 a gallon. A first-class stamp, exactly 8 cents. A gallon of regular gasoline, about 36 cents. The median new house, about $27,600 in the Census Bureau's own survey of builders. And the average new car drove off the lot at just under $4,000. If those numbers make today's receipts feel like a robbery, hold that feeling. It is exactly the feeling this page is about to take apart. Because here is the trap inside every one of those pairs. Between that autumn and this one, the dollar itself changed size. The Consumer Price Index, the government's official ruler for prices, kept by the Bureau of Labor Statistics since 1913, has risen nearly 8-fold since 1972. But the paycheck changed size too. The average hourly wage for ordinary private sector workers, the production and non-supervisory line the Bureau has tracked for generations, was about $3.70 then. As of late 2025, it was about $31, also roughly 8-fold, slightly more in fact, than prices rose. And once wages and prices have both multiplied by about 8, comparing dollars to dollars tells you almost nothing. 25-cent bread is not information. It is nostalgia. If you want the honest answer, was living actually cheaper? You need a ruler that cannot be inflated. There is one. It is the one every household actually pays with: time. Divide any price by the average wage of its own year, and the price becomes minutes of work. A 1972 minute and a 2025 minute are the same minute. Now the ledger can finally speak. Run the cart through it line by line. Milk, about 20 minutes of work a gallon then, about 8 minutes now. Cheaper by more than half. The whole chicken, about 6.5 minutes a pound then, about 4 now. Cheaper. Eggs, the wildest grocery line of recent years. About 8.5 minutes a dozen then. Even after the bird flu spike of 2025, roughly 6 now. Cheaper. Bread, about 4 minutes a loaf then, a little under 4 now. even. Ground beef, about 11 minutes a pound then, about 12 now. A shade dearer. Coffee after a sharp run-up in 2024 and 2025. About 15 minutes a pound then, about 17 now. 2 minutes dearer across half a century. Even gasoline, the gallon whose tripling defined the decade's panic, cost about 6 minutes of work in 1972. It costs about 6 minutes of work today. The stamp, 8 cents against 78. A minute and change either way. Read the verdicts down the column. Cheaper, cheaper, cheaper even. A shade dearer even. Measured in the one currency a household cannot print, its own working hours, the American grocery cart costs roughly what it cost in 1972. Half of it costs less. I think this is the most misread number in American memory. The dollar prices multiplied, and everyone remembers that. The hours barely moved, and no one counted them. Which is why the argument at every family table is unwinnable. When your grandmother says food was affordable back then, she is remembering 52-cent eggs, and in dollars, she is right. When the statistician answers that food has never taken a smaller share of the household budget, the tables back him too. Feeding a family took roughly $1.05 of household spending in the early 70s by the Bureau's consumer expenditure surveys, and takes roughly 1 in 8 today. Both rulers are real, but only one of them measures effort. And on the ruler of effort, the register is not where a budget bleeds. And it was not where the 1970s budget bled either. Now reprice the two biggest lines on the page. The median new American house cost $27,600 in 1972. Divide by that year's wage, and it comes to about 7,400 hours of work. At about 2,000 working hours a year, that is roughly 3.5 years of full-time labor for the house. Every hour of pay counted, none of it eaten. Today, the median new house runs a little over $420,000. At $31 an hour, that is about 13,500 hours, 6.5 years. In dollars, the house multiplied 15-fold. In years of a working life, it nearly doubled. Honesty requires the footnote. It is not quite the same house. The median new home then was about 1,500 square feet. Today, it is well over 2,000 square feet, better insulated, and wired for a different century. Price the house by the square foot in hours, and the increase shrinks. But it does not disappear. Foot for foot, the American roof costs more work than it did, and it is bought with the same finite supply of years. The car tells the same story, a size smaller. Just under $4,000 bought the average new car in 1972. About 1,000 hours of work, 26 weeks, half a working year in the driveway. The average new vehicle today sells near $50,000, about 1,600 hours. 40 weeks. Half a year of work has become 3/4 of one. The footnote applies here too. Today's car lasts far longer, and it is, at bottom, a computer wearing steel. But the ledger's question is narrower. How much of a year do the keys cost? Half again more than they did. And push past the page into what the budget calls services. A year of college, a night in a hospital, and the same curve only steepens. By the Bureau's own price indexes, those lines outran the wage itself several times over. They are their own stories for their own pages. What did the 1972 household do with all of this? Exactly what the price book had trained it to do. It repriced life and effort, even if it never used the words. When the beef line rose, dinner quietly became chicken, casseroles, and the cheaper cuts. A substitution the supermarkets themselves measured in falling beef sales. When unit pricing arrived, the small shelf tags showing cost per ounce spreading through American supermarkets at the start of the 70s, precisely because shoppers could no longer keep the arithmetic in their heads. The pencil in the kitchen drawer gained a printed ally. books of S and H green stamps were licked full and traded for the toaster. The car was kept a year longer, the house was painted instead of left, and the modern household runs the same arithmetic today with an app instead of a notebook, comparing store against store, week against week. The tools changed. The instinct, measure the price against the effort, never did. That is the map this page leaves behind, and it reads the same in both directions. The things a household buys over and over, food, fuel, the stamp on the envelope, have held astonishingly steady against the hour of work for 50 years, whatever the dollar figures scream. The things a household buys once or twice in a lifetime, the roof above the refrigerator, and to a lesser degree, the wheels in the driveway, have pulled away from months of a working year to years of a working life. So the next time the argument starts about whether everything was cheaper back then, the honest answer is, measure in minutes. The gallon of milk in your refrigerator costs less of your life than it cost them. The walls around that refrigerator cost more. The 1972 family never heard of an hours of work index. They kept one anyway, in pencil, in a kitchen drawer, because a household always knows, long before any bureau confirms it, exactly what an hour of its own work is worth.